Hi, hope everybody's doing well. Today is a very exciting video because I received my first act. So if you didn't know, one of my favorite books, Saints and Misfits by S.K. Ali, I did a review for this about 2 years ago, I think. I'll link the review if you want to watch it. I look crusty and dusty back then, don't judge me too hard. But the author, S.K. Ali, is finally coming out with her second book on April the 30th, and she sent me an ARC via her publisher, Salam Reads, which is an imprint of Simon & Schuster, so thank you to whoever was involved in sending this to me. I'm so grateful. They obviously sent this for me in exchange for an honest review because they know that I love her first book, Saints and Misfits, and I'm really passionate about reading and reviewing books by and about Muslims as a Muslim reviewer. So without further ado, let's just unbox the book and see what it is. Oh, it's so cute! It is Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali, of course, and I'll read you the back summary just so that you could know what the book is about. When Zainab gets suspended for confronting her Islamophobic teacher and he begins investigating her activist friends, Zainab heads to her aunt's house in Doha, Qatar, for an early start to spring break. Fueled by the guilt of getting her friends in trouble, she resolves to try out a new, nicer version of herself in a place where no one knows her. Then her path crosses with Adam's. Since he got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in November, Adam stopped going to classes, intent instead on perfecting the making of things and keeping his diagnosis a secret from his father and little sister, who are still grieving the loss of his mother. Alone, Adam and Zainab are playing roles for others, keeping their real thoughts locked away in their journals. But when their paths cross, their connection might just be enough to help them live their truth. That sounds so cute. I'm very much looking forward to this adorable contemporary romance between two Muslim teens. I just can't get over how adorable this cover is, and the models on the cover and everything. Whoever did this is art. And I got a nice little letter from the Simon & Schuster Children Publishing Division, the girl who sent the ARC to me, Emily, thank you so much. She said, I hope you enjoyed this one. I really did. Well, sis, I hope I really did too. But I am so happy to take you all on this reading journey with me, so definitely stick around for this video, grab a snack. We'll be discussing all of my thoughts throughout it, and obviously this will be 100% spoiler free, so have fun. My hair is absolutely atrocious. But we'll just accept that as the will of Allah. I'm outside my house because I literally just needed to step out. Inside could become a little bit musty. Inside could become a little bit musty and dusty, and I'm trying to give you all some kind of view with the trees and the mountain. Could you even see the mountain? Oh, it's that. You can see it there. Right, okay, that's not working out so great. I only started the book a couple days ago and I haven't even read much. I read like 30 something pages. I know I'm literally trash. School has not been the greatest, and my mental health has also not really been the greatest either. If I could impart some wisdom, oh my goodness, why am I filming this video with my hair looking like that? If I could impart some wisdom onto my followers watching this video, all I will say is sometimes when you feel like you have mental health issues, but it's not extreme enough. Baby nephew? This is my baby nephew. Hi! Nothing. I'm just walking outside. In that last clip, which I filmed literally like two days ago, I tried to do something outside, but it just wasn't really working out. What I was trying to say before I was interrupted by my sister-in-law and my baby nephew, through no fault of their own obviously, is that we have this culture when it comes to mental illness where if you're not fully depressed or you're not fully, anxious or have anxiety disorder, or you're not fully, on some sort of mental health spectrum, you're not fully on one side, then you should not, you have no reason to take care of your mental health. You're not really depressed, you're not really anxious, you just kind of have to snap out of it. And I think that I really learned that mentality has not been working for me for the longest time. This past semester at school, I have been so neglectful of my schoolwork, and I thought it was because I was just lazy, but it wasn't because of just that. It was because I've been struggling with a lot of attention deficit issues. I've been having slightly depressed, sad, episodes, and I've also been very, very, very anxious, and it's been affecting me in so many different ways. So I've been seeking help over the past couple of weeks, and it's been helping tremendously. I still have a lot I need to work on personally, because it's not just the mental health, but it's also my attitude. But I've been feeling so much better and so much more conscious of myself over the past few weeks than I have in a very long time. The lesson that I'm trying to convey is take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself, take some time, sit back and really reevaluate where you are in your life. And if you feel like you need help and you need to talk to somebody, go and do that. You're valid in wanting to do that. It's fine. Nobody's judging you. Go do what you have to do, sis. Alright, so now that that little spiel is over, let us talk about the book. So I am currently on page 68. So far, so good. Really, really loving this story. I've gotten to the point where they're both settled down in Doha and they're doing what they have to do, and they met each other for a second time. So they met in the airport and then they met again in Doha through coincidences that you will encounter for yourself when you pick up the book. And one thing that I've been making notes of a lot is the character dynamic, particularly between both of these characters. I haven't seen much of them together as yet, but as individuals, I find them very interesting. So Zainab is a very outgoing, very confident, very out there kind of person. She's very social. She wants to talk to people. She wants to meet people. She wants to go to parties and do all these different kind of things. Whereas Adam is more shy and, you know, keeps to himself. He's a little bit quiet. Zainab is also more of a passionate type of person. In the book, people perceive her as negative, but really as you read the story, you realize she's not a negative person. She's just a very passionate person, and she doesn't let things slide in the way that most people do. So most people would kind of shut up, you know, keep their opinions to themselves, you know, not engage in criticism and that kind of stuff. Not Zainab. If you have a problem with something, sis is going to tell you, listen, I have a problem with something. And that is why she is considered very negative. And because of that disposition, both of these characters have journals where they record marvels and oddities. Zainab is more into talking about the oddities, being the negative things in her life. She's more interested in talking about the things that bother her and in facing the things that bother her head on. Whereas Adam is more into the marvels of life. He likes to repress the negative things in his life or put them aside and not really pay so much attention to them. And he really likes to focus on the things that he likes, the things that make him happy and the things that make life great. So in addition to that dichotomy between both of these characters just being very interesting, I just love how the girl is the confident one and the guy is the shy one. Usually it's the other way around in YA contemporary, but not in this book. She's the outgoing one, she's the out there one, and he's the more keep to himself, keep cool, alright kind of person. And he's a little bit less sure of himself than Zainab is. And I love that because it's really subverting what we're usually used to in these types of books. Look at S.K. Ali, like, you know, transgressing the gender dynamics. I love it. Another thing that I've been taking note of is their heritage. So both of these characters are mixed, kind of, in a way, and they're both very, I don't know how to say this without sounding bad, they're both very culturally complicated, right, to say the least. So Zainab is from America, she's American, but her mom is of Caribbean heritage. So her mom's mom is from Trinidad, which is where I'm from, and her mom's dad is from Guyana, which is where one of my grandfathers was from. So it was really interesting to see that representation on the page. I was not expecting that. I know that S.K. Ali did hint that there was going to be some sort of mention of Trinidad and Guyana in the book. She hinted that to me on Twitter, but I didn't know one of the main characters was going to be of that heritage. So I found that particularly interesting, and I really was like, I felt a little seen. I felt a little acknowledged. And the page, so I've been annotating a lot, and I'll probably later on in the vlog go through a little bit on my annotation process. But the page where that was revealed, I had a whole thing to say, because it really got me thinking about race and heritage and all that kind of stuff. I found it very interesting because she's half Pakistani, half Caribbean. It's not specified as to what her Caribbean ethnicity is. She could be Indo-Caribbean, or she could be Afro-Caribbean, or she could be both. I don't know. So I didn't really want to assume, but I feel more so that it might be Indo-Caribbean, because I don't know, it might be. And she said that she is of half Asian background, and her half Asian background that she was referring to is obviously her Pakistani background. But I still found it interesting because, let's say she was Indo-Caribbean. Indo-Caribbean is still kind of Asian, because Indo-Caribbean people are descendants of Indians who from Asia, right? But at the same time, it's not Asian. So like it really got me thinking about that. That's something that I think about every now and again, and this book just made me think about that unintentionally, of course, because the author was just trying to let you know what the girl's ethnicity is, what. But obviously my mind had to just go down a whole tangent about race and what does it mean to be Indo-Caribbean, even though she didn't say that she was Indo-Caribbean. I like to go on tangents a lot, so I was really thinking a lot about that, and I just really appreciate that S.K. Ali felt the need to include that representation. I really appreciated seeing like that on the page, and I'm very much interested, because ever since then she never really mentioned it again, but I'm very much interested in seeing if it comes up again and if it becomes not necessarily a huge part of the story, because I don't expect it to, but if it does play somewhat of a role, like if she does kind of reflect on it at some point in the novel. So I'm looking forward to that. As it pertains to Adam, so I was really wondering what Adam is, because like you're not really sure what he is he even a Muslim, or that kind of stuff. So Adam is from Canada originally, and his dad is of Chinese background and his mom is of European, like Finnish background. So he's half white, half Chinese, I guess, and he's been living in Doha for quite a long time, and he converted to Islam at the age of 11. And I really like that we have some representation of a converted character, because usually when we see Muslims in books, it's always about somebody who's grown up Muslim and who's grown up from an ethnic background that is usually associated with Muslims, or that it's not, far-fetched to see Muslims of that particular race, as opposed to somebody who's from Canada and they're half white, half East Asian, and they converted to Islam. Like, that's not something we see a lot. So those were the main things that I have on my mind about the book so far. There's really nothing else. There are some characters who I really like. I really like Zainab's aunt. She's her mother's sister, so she's of Caribbean background as well. And she's living in Doha. You'll understand why she's living there when you read the book yourself. But I love the relationship between her and her aunt. I love a cool auntie. I love a cool auntie. I love reading books and seeing cool aunties. They're always the best. I wish I had like a young cool auntie, I have aunties and they're really nice, but they're not like, they're like that kind of auntie. I want that kind of auntie. My grandparents should have had like another daughter or something. Anyways, as I said, that's all of my thoughts on the book so far. I will update y'all periodically as I continue to read it and as my thoughts continue to expand. Back of my house, and there's a tree. I don't know where the hell this come out from. I think it just grew by accident. Okay. Hi, so it's been I heard something. So it has been, my room is a mess. Act like you're not seeing it. It's been 5 days since I updated y'all last, and that's because I'm a mess. I had 2 assignments due this week. I finished one, I didn't finish the other, but we got an extension to Monday, so there's that. I literally made no progress with Love from A to Z whatsoever. I'm still on page 68. And the book comes out in 4 days. I did do some reading this week though, that wasn't Love from A to Z, because I had to. So I read Here Comes the Sun by Nicole Dennis Benn. I finished this one, so I had about 100 pages left, and I put it down for like about a week or so, because it's just a very heavy, depressing book. I read this for Bashment Book Club, which is a Caribbean book club started by myself. Well, not started by me. It was started by Paige and Linnell, and then after they included me. So now the 3 of us are hosting it, and the live show is going to be on my channel Saturday night. I also read a little bit of Hunger by Roxane Gay. I'm saving this one for after all of the books that I have to read, but I'm on page 120. Y'all, Roxane Gay is the best writer in the world. I love the way she writes, and this memoir is very, very deep and personal and interesting, so I'm enjoying it so far. And finally we have I'm also currently reading Girl in Translation, but I haven't picked this one up in weeks. I'm still on page 90. Probably haven't touched it in a month. I also have to read Internment for the Sassy Book Club, and we're doing the live show for this one on, I think we're doing the live show on Monday night. I have to double check, but yeah, I think it's Monday night. I'm reading this with Cassie, of course, from Miss Sassy Cassie, Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. Who else? Maddie from The Book Pusher, Joss from Scribbles Reads, and Tahir Right, so the 6 of us are going to be reading this book and discussing it for the live show. I'm very excited for this one because it's another YA novel about a Muslim character, but this one's actually a dystopian. These are the books that I will hopefully finish by the end of the month. I already finished one of them. But today I'm going to read a little bit more of Love from A to Z, and hopefully I actually frickin' finish it. Okay, but before I even touch the books, we need to deal with this room. Like, it isn't a disarray. It's not acceptable. We don't stand. We need to fix what's good. Is that my baby nephew's shoes? It's a bit later in the day and I cleaned my room and I actually rearranged, so I switched around the bed. So let me just give you all a cute little room tour. So that's my bed, that's where I sleep and do nothing else, unfortunately. And that's my nightstand, and that's my calendar, and there's my cute little bookshelf that don't really have any books except for up here. I have like Islamic books, and I have the Trinidadian flag, and then I have my degree in psychology, which I don't use, and then I have that, and then I have my Scooby-Doos. I love them, they're my babies. I have these prints from The Love and Lives of Ruxana Ali, the CN Tower, my grandmother, a basket full of bookmarks that I also don't use, a box full of things that I don't use, and other things that I don't use but that look cute as decoration. When you come from the corner and you turn here, we have my desk, which is very long, which I love. That didn't sound right. And my books that I'm currently reading here, I have pencils, stationery, etc. Then I have my scratch off the world map. I've been to some parts of the States and some parts of Canada and Trinidad. I haven't even been to Tobago, but I still somehow... Why is it not focusing? I still somehow managed to scratch off Tobago. It's not focusing, but you know where Trinidad is, Google it. And they also have the flags. Like, I find that so cool. So yeah. And if you're wondering, yes, they do have the Palestinian flag. So that's the desk. I have to read that book. That's my bookcase, which you're familiar with. My collection. And then this is my cupboard. I keep all my fancy clothes and my shoes there. I keep basically all of my things that are not display worthy in there. That's actually where we keep our linens because we don't have space elsewhere in the house, and that's my everyday clothes. There was the unsolicited room tour that y'all did not ask for. You're welcome. My skin is looking so oily that you could literally fry plantain on my face right now. Hi, child. Didn't finish the book like I said I would. It's 1:45 in the morning and I'm only 100 pages in. Yeah, I have something to say about something that I encountered in this story, and it's a particular scene, and I don't want to spoil it too much because I feel like, when y'all read it, y'all will get the point. So if you're reading the book, it's definitely between page 70 and page 100, and it's a scene where Zainab is very empathetic towards another individual, right? Another individual. She's very empathetic towards that individual. And her basis for that empathy comes from her being a Muslim. She remembers a particular story that I always also heard growing up, that really informed her decision to be empathetic, or that informed her empathy towards that particular individual. And I love that because it really shows how I know that religion is kind of trash in a lot of cases, in the sense that it teaches us really, really bad values in terms of things like homophobia, sexism, etc. Religion is a patriarchal institution at the end of the day, but it doesn't have to be. I personally believe that religion is what you make of it. And also, a lot of us growing up in religion, so I'm a very I'm a very progressive person, if you will, very feminist. I have a values that just don't align to traditional Orthodox Islamic values, but I still hold on to Islam. And you might wonder, why does someone like me still claim Islam and still is proudly, a Muslim? And the reason for that is I would not be the person I am today had it not been for my religion, had it not been for the values that I was taught growing up that constitute a huge part of who I am and my personality and how I look at the world. I would not be as amazing as I am today, and I am such an amazing person. Y'all could disagree with me, but sometimes I wish that I was two separate people so that I could be friends with myself. And part of the reason why I'm so amazing is because I grew up learning a lot of good values because of my religion, because of the community that I grew up in, and because of the Islam that I was exposed to. And Zainab felt empathetic towards that particular individual because she recalled a story that taught a particular value of empathy. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed seeing that. But Zainab, because she's the kind of person who is very justice oriented, who wants the right thing to be done at all times, that also informed her empathy. So I'm going to call it a night and go and sleep because I have to get up tomorrow to actually help my aunt. It's part of a Muslim ladies organization. Actually, they're doing something in the mosque, like a barbecue, and it's 2 o'clock, and I have to go help them for 9. So I have to get up like really, really early and go help them out. We not gonna be getting good sleep tonight, unfortunately. Maybe I might document some of that, I don't know. But before I talk about that, I did promise that I'll show you how I annotate the book, so I'll show you all that now. So I'm holding my makeshift tripod in my crotch right now. This is proving to be quite difficult. Okay, so I have a little thing here to show basically like the different colors that I'm using. So my annotation process is like basically making cute little notes like in the margin and that kind of stuff, and highlighting and using post-its, and I'm keeping it all color coordinated. This is the first time that I'm doing anything like that, so I really enjoy doing this, and I feel like I should do this more often when I read. It really makes for a more interactive reading experience. If you're wondering about my weapons of choice, these are the highlighters. They are Pilot, Frisian, how do you say that? Frisian, Fusion, listen, I don't know. For my pens, I'm using, this is also Pilot, I think. Yeah, Pilot. Wow. Pilot, y'all should sponsor me. Send me some money promoting y'all for free. And then I'm using these posted tab. Well, they're not posted brand. I don't know what brand these are. And I'm also cutting these purple ones in half because, unfortunately, they don't have purple in these. So yeah, that's how I annotate. I should also show y'all my bookmark. Can you tell I'm a stan for this book? I am. Oh my god, y'all. I feel really awful because it's 1 a.m. on Tuesday and it is the day that Love from A to Z comes out. And I'm really disappointed in myself because I wanted to get the review out for this book before the book came out, but I just couldn't because I had 2 assignments last week and one of them got pushed back to Monday, which was today, and I had to do it out today. I had to finish the damn assignment today. And it was a lot that I had to do. And then I also had the live show for internment on Cassie's channel, so I had to finish internment so that I could do the live show. But obviously I'm still going to do my review and I'm still going to finish it up. I'm really, really loving it, and this is one that I want everybody to read because y'all, it is so freaking good. I am 80 pages from finishing it, and when I first started this book, I definitely thought it was going to be a 4-star, maybe 3.5 star if it wasn't that great. At this point, it's heading towards 5 stars, and I'm confident in saying that, and I'm very happy. So before I go ahead and finish the book, I did want to talk about some standout things that I got so far. I'm on page 250, I think, so I have about 80 pages, as I said. And there was one scene. I kicked my book bag off my bed. So basically there was a scene, and I don't want to give away too much, but basically in that scene they were talking about the West versus the rest, kind of, but not really, not in those words. We're talking about how, you know, Western feminism Western white feminism kind of sees Muslim women as the antithesis of liberation, and they kind of perpetuate this narrative that feminism and women's liberation is anti-religion, particularly anti-Islam. The book kind of criticizes that. It goes into a discussion about why that's wrong. It's interesting because today the paper that I was doing was a paper on engendering mosque boards, so to come up with policies to get women on mosque boards in Trinidad. One of the articles that I referred to for the paper was by a writer called Salma Naguib. She talks about how Muslim women in Sudan got together in groups and they attained immense autonomy in the mosques that they were attending. They managed to kind of transgress that masculine, that very hyper-masculine space of the mosque and, you know, assert their own authority within the mosque through their own religious affiliation, through their own religiosity and through their own love for Islam. They band together and they learned from each other, and they did their own, you know, readings of the Quran, and they were saying, well, no, the men are not supposed to be pushing us away from the mosque like that. This is our space. We have a right to express our, you know, ourselves here as much as they do. And they essentially achieved liberation in the mosque, and it was amazing, and they did so through embracing their religion. It's an interesting thing to understand that not all women's liberation looks the way that the West wants it to look. So yeah, now I'm going to go finish the book and report back to y'all when I'm done. This vlog is going to be very long. Y'all, I just filmed my review for the book, and oh, that was the hardest review ever. Obviously I finished early in the morning, and I don't even know how to put my thoughts into words, y'all. That's why that review was so difficult. I have a half an hour to footage for that review alone to go and edit, but I have to say this book was just pure excellence. It's so innovative, it's so well crafted, and when you really get to the end of it, you see how well put together this book is. You see how talented S.K. Ali as an author is, and I'm so incredibly proud of her because, as I said, I read her first book, Saints and Misfits, and with Saints and Misfits I found that, you know, it was a good story, but the execution wasn't the best, and with this book it was executed flawlessly. She improved so much from the first book to the second book, and you see that when you read the two of them, and I'm so incredibly happy for her. I'm so incredibly proud of her. I really wish I had this video up before the book came out, but either way I am going to, as I said in my review, I'm going to shove this book down your throats, y'all, because it is a story that I find unforgettable. It is a story that I think will stick with me for a very long time, and it's one that I will definitely revisit. I have 2 final copies coming for me in the mail, so Simon & Schuster, I believe, are sending me a final copy, and I also pre-ordered a final copy so that I could do a giveaway, but that giveaway will be happening when I reach 5,000 subscribers, so you have to like and share and engage and get me to 5,000, and then when I get that 5,000 subscribers, I'll probably do a little Q&A thing, and with that I'll pair it with a little giveaway or something. So yeah, that's everything I have to say. Go out there and buy Love From A to Z by S.K. Ali. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stuck to the end, if you stuck to the end, let me know in the comments down below. If you stuck to the end, I want you to comment Salam Reads. Salam Reads. That's the imprint of Simon & Schuster. That's SALAAM Reads, right? READS, Reads. Comment that down below and I'll know that you stuck throughout this entire video. That's probably going to be over half an hour long if I'm to be honest, unless I shut up and just end the video. So thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. In the comments down below, let me know if you've read the book, if you have any thoughts on it, if you have any thoughts on S.K. Ali's other books. Let's talk about it. With all of that being said, I hope you have a lovely day, and until next time, inshallah, keep reading.